I never forgot the sound of my father's voice that night, the way it tore through me like glass. "You're no daughter of mine." My mother's scream followed, shriller, colder. "Get out! You've disgraced us!" I stood in the doorway, my hands shaking over the small bump beneath my sweatshirt. They looked at me as if I were filth, not their child, not their blood, just a mistake they wanted erased. I didn't beg, I didn't cry, I just left. Those first years were brutal. I worked nights in a diner, slept 3 hours a day, and fed my son milk I could barely afford. I named him Ethan, the only pure thing left in my world. When he smiled, I remembered what love felt like, even if no one had ever shown me. But pain like that doesn't die, it just waits. 5 years later, they came back. It was a Sunday morning. Ethan was in the yard, building a castle of sand and toy cars. I was brewing coffee when I heard the knock, sharp, impatient. The kind of knock that once ruled my childhood. I opened the door, and there they stood, my parents. Aging had not softened them, it had hardened every angle of their pride. My father's gray suit was pressed to perfection. My mother's pearls gleamed like frost. Then they saw him. Their faces drained. My father stumbled back a step. My mother's lips trembled as she whispered, What is this?" I smiled, calm and deliberate. "This is your grandson." But what froze them wasn't the word grandson. It was the eyes. Ethan's eyes, sharp gray, identical to my father's. You see, my parents had always worshipped appearances. Reputation was their god, perfection their temple. Father, the respected businessman. Mother, the pristine socialite. Behind those walls, I was the flaw they buried. When they threw me out, they thought they'd erased me. But they didn't know what I'd already discovered. That my pregnancy, their shame, was the result of their own sin. He was my father's sin, not mine. I'd gone to a friend's party that night. I remembered the drink, the dizziness, the blackouts. Weeks later, the test showed positive. I thought it was a stranger's crime. I blamed myself. But years later, I found the truth, tucked away in my mother's old letters. Her words confessed what they'd buried. "I can't forgive you, Richard. She's your daughter, and now she's carrying your child." That was the night something inside me snapped, but not in rage, in clarity. I realized I didn't need to scream. I needed to make them see. So I planned. I changed my name, moved to another city, raised Ethan with quiet dignity. And while they paraded through charity galas and business dinners, I watched from afar. Until their empire began to crack. Lawsuits, bad press, a corporate audit. Their reputation hung by a thread. That's when I reached out, anonymously at first. I offered them a family image restoration campaign, a partnership with a youth foundation featuring stories of forgiveness and rebuilding. They agreed immediately. Their PR team arranged a media shoot at my house, not knowing who I was. I made sure the invitation read only my professional name, Lena Hart. When they arrived, everything was staged. Cameras, coffee cups, sunlight spilling through curtains. Ethan in the garden, innocent, radiant. They didn't recognize me at first. 5 years had reshaped me. The broken girl was gone. But when I said, "Mr. and Mrs. Gray, welcome," my father's eyes widened. My mother's hand trembled. And then Ethan turned. Same eyes, same dimple, same blood. The silence was deafening. My father's lips quivered. This is impossible. I tilted my head, calm. "You always did say I was no daughter of yours, but you never said he wasn't your son." The cameras were rolling. Their faces, pale, horrified, broadcasted to every live feed the PR team had set up. The story hit within minutes. Respected businessman confronted by his disowned daughter and the child that proves his darkest secret. The empire fell before sundown. I didn't gloat. I didn't even look back as they left, stunned, humiliated, finished. Later that night, as I tucked Ethan into bed, he asked, "Mom, who were those people?" I kissed his forehead. "Just ghosts, sweetheart. Ghosts from a house that doesn't exist anymore." He smiled, half asleep, and whispered, "You're not scared of them, are you?" I looked out the window, at the quiet street, the world finally still. "No," I said softly, "they should be scared of me." People talk about revenge like it's poison, that it consumes you. But that's not true. When you've been burned, revenge is the light that lets you see again. I didn't destroy them out of hatred. I simply made them look in a mirror they'd avoided all their lives. And sometimes, the truth is the cruelest punishment of all. Final reflection. They disowned me once, but now every headline, every whisper in the city reminds them who I am and who they made me become. I am their legacy.